Respect isn't just about how you carry yourself, it's about the habits you embody every single day. Whether you realize it or not, there are certain behaviors that instantly make people lose respect for you. These habits, though often subtle, send a message that you lack confidence, discipline, or self-awareness. And in a world where perception shapes reality, that's a dangerous position to be in. Think about the people you admire. The ones who command respect the moment they enter a room. They don't beg for attention. They don't try to impress. They simply are. Their presence speaks louder than words. They carry themselves with quiet confidence, emotional control, and a deep understanding of their own worth. That's not something you're born with, it's something you cultivate. But here's the harsh truth. If you don't recognize and eliminate the habits that undermine your authority, you'll always struggle to be taken seriously. You'll find yourself constantly overlooked, dismissed, or even disrespected without ever understanding why. And that's what we're here to fix today. In this video, we'll break down 3 awful habits that can instantly make others look down on you. These habits destroy your credibility, weaken your presence, and make people subconsciously question your value. More importantly, we'll show you how to reverse these behaviors, so you can start commanding respect instead of losing it. Because here's the thing, respect isn't something you demand. It's something you earn through discipline, self-mastery, and the way you conduct yourself every day. That's why understanding Stoic principles is so crucial. The ancient Stoics knew the secret to commanding respect wasn't about power or wealth, it was about character. It was about how you carry yourself in the face of challenges, how you respond to negativity, and how you show up in the world. So, if you've ever felt ignored, underestimated, or like people don't take you seriously, this video is for you. Watch until the end, because you might be making these mistakes without even realizing it. And once you eliminate them, you'll notice an immediate shift in how people perceive you. Before we dive in, take a second to support the channel. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset for more insights on self-mastery, confidence, and personal power. If you're serious about leveling up your life, this is the place for you. Now, let's get into it. 1. Seeking validation from others. Nothing destroys respect faster than constantly seeking validation from others. It's one of the most subtle yet damaging habits you can develop, and the worst part. Most people don't even realize they're doing it. Whether it's fishing for compliments, obsessing over social media likes, or constantly asking for reassurance, this habit signals one thing loud and clear: you don't believe in yourself. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who constantly seeks approval? They hesitate before making decisions, always looking around to see what others think. They adjust their personality based on who they're around, desperately trying to fit in. They can't handle criticism because their self-worth is tied to what people say about them. And what happens? People stop taking them seriously. Because when you don't trust yourself, why should anyone else? The Stoics had a powerful stance on this. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Let that sink in. You live with yourself every second of your life. You know your thoughts, your dreams, your struggles, yet you give more weight to someone else's opinion than your own judgment. That's not just irrational, it's a trap. A trap that keeps you weak, dependent, and controlled. Here's the brutal truth. The moment you start seeking approval, you give others power over you. You let them decide your worth. You let their opinions dictate your actions. And worst of all, you show them that you need their validation to feel whole. And when people see that, they lose respect. Because real confidence isn't about proving yourself, it's about knowing you don't have to. So, how do you break free? Start by understanding this. Confidence is built, not borrowed. It doesn't come from external praise. It comes from proving to yourself that you're capable. Stop asking people what they think before making a decision. Stop altering your behavior just to be liked. And most importantly, stop living for approval and start living for principle. A Stoic doesn't ask, "What will people think?" A Stoic asks, "Is this the right thing to do?" That's the shift that changes everything. When you move from needing approval to living by your values, people will feel the difference. You'll carry yourself with a quiet, unshakable confidence. And suddenly, the same people who once overlooked you will start to respect you, not because you asked for it, but because you earned it. Let me ask you this: are you living for yourself, or are you living for the approval of others? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're ready to reclaim your confidence, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset for more wisdom on self-mastery and personal power. Now, let's move on to the next habit that's making people look down on you. 2. Over-explaining yourself. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is by constantly over-explaining yourself. It's a habit that many people fall into without realizing how much damage it's doing to their reputation. Every time you justify your actions unnecessarily, apologize when no apology is needed, or feel the need to explain your every move, you send a subconscious message to others: you don't trust yourself. Here's the thing. People who command respect don't waste time over-explaining. They say what they mean, and they stand by it. When you over-explain, it shows insecurity, a need for validation, and an internal belief that your decisions aren't good enough unless others approve. That's why people lose respect for chronic over-explainers. It's exhausting, and more importantly, it reveals a lack of self-confidence. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine two people arrive late to a meeting. The first person simply says, "Apologies for being late." The second person goes into a long-winded explanation. "I'm so sorry I was late. The traffic was terrible, then I spilled coffee on my shirt, and I had to go back home to change. I promise it won't happen again." Who commands more respect? The first person. Why? Because they acknowledge the situation and move on. The second person, by over-explaining, unintentionally reveals weakness. They show that they feel guilty, nervous, or desperate for understanding. The truth is, most people don't care about the details, they care about confidence and efficiency. From a Stoic perspective, over-explaining stems from a fear of judgment. You feel the need to justify yourself because deep down, you worry about what others think. But as Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, stop trying to control how others perceive you. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't owe endless justifications for your choices. So, how do you break this habit? First, practice saying less. If someone asks why you made a decision, give a short, confident response. If you need to apologize, do it once, without excessive explanations. And most importantly, understand that silence is often more powerful than words. When you stop over-explaining, people start seeing you as someone who is sure of themselves, someone who doesn't need to beg for understanding. And that, in turn, commands instant respect. Are you guilty of over-explaining? If so, challenge yourself to stop today. Drop a comment below if you've ever caught yourself falling into this habit, and if you're ready to cultivate unshakable confidence, subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset for more lessons on self-mastery and personal power. Now, let's move on to the third habit that destroys respect. 3. Constantly complaining and playing the victim. Nothing destroys your credibility and makes people look down on you faster than the habit of constantly complaining and playing the victim. It's one of the most toxic habits you can develop, and it's one that many people fall into without realizing its impact on their relationships and reputation. The constant complainer doesn't focus on solutions, they focus on problems. They blame their circumstances, their environment, or other people for their struggles. They fail to take responsibility for their own life and actions, choosing instead to adopt a helpless mindset that says, "This is happening to me, and there's nothing I can do about it." But here's the harsh truth. Life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to what happens. When you choose to play the victim, you're choosing to stay powerless. And that's something people can sense immediately. A person who constantly complains about their job, their friends, or their family, without ever taking any steps to improve their situation, exudes weakness. It's draining to be around someone who only brings problems and never solutions. People respect those who rise above challenges, not those who are forever stuck in the mindset that life is unfair. The Stoics understood this truth at the deepest level. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What this means is that most of the pain and suffering we experience is not from our circumstances, but from the way we perceive them. Complaining and playing the victim is a form of self-indulgence. It's focusing on the things you can't control, rather than taking action on what you can control. And when you stay stuck in this mindset, others start to see you as weak, unreliable, and unworthy of respect. So, how do you stop complaining and playing the victim? Start by shifting your perspective. When something goes wrong, instead of complaining, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do to change my situation? Life will always throw obstacles your way, but it's how you respond that will define your success and your respect. When you adopt a mindset of ownership and responsibility, people will notice. They will see someone who doesn't shy away from challenges but faces them head-on with resilience and strength. And that's the type of person who earns respect. Stop complaining. Stop blaming. Take responsibility for your life, and start acting as the hero of your own story. When you do, you'll not only regain respect, you'll also gain the confidence and strength to overcome anything life throws at you. Remember, respect isn't something you demand from others, it's something you earn by cultivating self-mastery, confidence, and integrity. By eliminating habits like seeking constant validation, over-explaining, and playing the victim, you'll start to show up as a person who commands respect, not because you're trying to, but because you've earned it through your actions and mindset. If you want to continue leveling up your life, make sure you subscribe to Beyond Vision Mindset. Here, we dive deep into personal growth, Stoic philosophy, and practical wisdom to help you unlock your true potential. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with anyone who could benefit from these insights. The path to gaining true respect begins with changing the habits that hold you back. Start today, and watch your life transform. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay strong, stay disciplined, and keep striving for the best version of yourself. See you in the next video.